Hi, this is Rainbow Harmony, here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And this is a pick a card reading for your job, career, and finances. It's been a little while since I've done a reading like this, so I was really thankful some of you guys requested this. I'm so in the mood to do a reading for this topic. It's 2020, everybody's ready to hustle and get it done. Remember our theme on the channel, Get That Money 2020. We're gonna get some good advice, some good word for you guys here from the card today on how to help your job, financial, work situation. So all you have to do is just choose a card or choose a crystal here in a moment when the screen comes up. It's gonna have a couple of cards out, it's gonna have a crystal. All you gotta do is just choose the one that feels like it resonates with you the most, or choose the one that's calling to you the most. And I do want to just shout out real quick that I am having a sale right now till January 5th on personal readings. If you would like to go in depth on this topic, or maybe get a love reading or do a Skype with me, like a live chat, we've got all of those options available. So keep in mind, this is a general reading. It may not resonate with everyone. Always trust your own intuition and your own inner guidance above all else when doing any type of online tarot reading. I'll see you guys in a minute. So I've got 4 options for you guys here today. Number 1 is the black lace agate. Number 2 is the rose quartz. Number 3 is the red jasper. And number 4 is the raw quartz crystal. Choose the one that you resonate with the most, and we're gonna move forward. If you choose number 1, we're going to get started right away. If you choose any of the other ones, the info will be down in the description below, and in the comments below you'll see the timestamps. So for those of you guys who choose number 1, let's see what the messages have to say for you about your finances and your career. So we've just got a couple cards here today. First of all, we're seeing the Emperor. Use logic and structure to increase your success. Get organized. Then we have the Sun. Plans that work out perfectly. Amazing ideas that lead to rewards and commendations. Gratitudes for the blessings of life. And then we see the Endurance card. So I'm getting a really strong picture right now about where you're at in your career. This card, how it says get organized, that is standing out to me so much. I'm getting this vision that you're in this situation right now where you've got some stability around you. So you've got some stability, you've got a job, it's paying the bills, you're feeling pretty comfortable with it, but there's some bigger dreams. There are some bigger ideas. There's kind of a different vision that you have for yourself when it comes to how you spend your time. When you think about it, your career and your job is very important because it plays a huge amount of time in your life. For a lot of people, that's 9 to 5, 5 days a week, or that's 40 hours, sometimes 50, 60 hours a week of how you're spending your time. So for some people, they prefer to get a job that works pretty well with them and their skills, something where they can be a little social and help and give back, and it's not a big deal to them because evenings and weekends, like they're spending time with their family, they're supporting the family or themselves, and it's not a big deal. But I feel like for you, you're bored out of your mind. You're tired, you're stressed, you're just like done. Because I see this Endurance card and it's like you're just hanging in there. Like you need the job to pay the bills and everything. But if you could just run away and escape from it all, you totally would. And I don't blame you at all, because I felt like that before in the past in my job and in my career. So you're at this point where you're just hanging on for dear life, and you're at this point where you're like, I can't live my life like this anymore. I can't spend all this time, all these hours every day towards something that doesn't feel like me. You're being broken down. I see something for some of you guys about a toxic workplace. The energy is just too heavy for you. So you want to do something with your work that's more in alignment with your heart. You want to do something that has a bigger impact. If you're going to use all this time and spend all this time working towards something, you want it to be something that's more in alignment with your mission, with your purpose, with your talents, with your gifts. A job is always going to be a job. Work is always going to be work. Like even me right now, I'm sitting down to do these readings. I've got a list in front of me. I kind of wish I was outside right now running around in some field somewhere. But I'm thankful to have this work because it's fun, it's interesting, it's exciting, and I can move my schedule around to go out into that field and run around anytime I want. So maybe that's what you're looking for. Maybe you're looking for something a little bit more flexible. Maybe you're looking for a job that you can create for yourself, or you want to work with some type of company or organization that has a very similar mission to you. Just this has to 100% to do with alignment. So this is telling you use logic and structure to increase your success. Get organized. Know yourself. Know thyself. It's time to really do some journaling or writing some lists or making a vision board, or maybe talk to a friend or someone that you trust to just start discussing what you like to do in general. What kind of lifestyle would you like to have? What would your ideal situation be? You can even ask yourself this: if you were a billionaire or a multimillionaire and you had not a care in the world, what would you spend your days doing? What would you spend your time doing? What type of hobbies, activities, gifts, talents would you express? Because when you got a bunch of money, or you're totally set for life, you don't need a job for money. A lot of people, and I've hung out with a lot of wealthy people in Los Angeles, celebrities and stuff like that when I lived there. It's very interesting to me because I noticed a lot of these people who are extremely wealthy, they still want to do something with their life. They still want to contribute. They still want to use their talents and gifts. And so of course, when you got all that money, you're going to travel, you're going to buy a bunch of stuff, you're going to live a life of leisure, luxury, but there's still always going to be that side of you that wants to participate in society, that wants to give back. So if you approach your situation from that, if there was no obstacles, money wasn't a problem, location wasn't a problem, like what would you do with your time? How would you spend your days? Start there and then work backwards. Get organized. I did this exercise a couple years ago, and I told myself I'd be traveling the world, I'd be hanging out with artists, I'd have time to work on music and work on writing and do painting. I'd want to help other people. I'd want to inspire them, want to lift them up. Like I had kind of this vague idea of what I wanted. And that's when I realized, you know what? A 9-to-5 job isn't going to cut it for me. So I'm going to have to work part-time towards making my art into a job. And like, how can I do that? Can I find other people who are doing that out there and kind of watch them? Can I volunteer for someone who's already on that level, or maybe be an assistant to somebody who's in a similar position? Is there a way I can do some research on this? What's the first step? Like, it's really looking at that big dream you have and being willing to take the steps, the tiny little things in your life you have to rearrange every day to make it happen. So this is a message to you. This could take time. Breaking out of this situation and into your ideal, it's gonna take some time, okay? But this is a message to you that if you plan this out, it's going to work out perfectly. And it doesn't even really matter what the plan is. Something I've learned, you guys, about life, this is the biggest thing. If you take away anything from this reading, take this away. It doesn't matter what plan you make or what action you take. That's not important. Those details aren't important. What's important is the energy that's behind it. What's important is that you stay consistent. What's important is that you keep the energy and the momentum going as you move in the direction of what you want. It's all about the energy. It's all about the intention. It's all about consistency. Don't get caught up in perfectionism and in those little details. Just figure out what your next step is. You get to decide what the next step is and then take it. You take one step, the next step comes to you. You take one step, the universe brings an opportunity to you or someone to help you or assist you. But you have to be the one that takes the action first. And so this is a message to you. Get organized, start planning this. You're a leader. You're someone who was meant to maybe be on more of an entrepreneur path. Time to plan this out. You might already have some amazing ideas. Life is gonna bless you. Go out there and shine your energy and create this path for yourself. Remember that you're the master creator of your life. You're creating your life through your thoughts, through your feelings, through your actions, through your intentions. So you can make this happen with a little bit of time and patience. I hope that this reading resonates with you. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. Remember that I do have a sale going on till January 5th. So check it out. If you want to support me and my channel, then you can purchase a reading from me, or you can simply just like and subscribe. And I'm really thankful that you listened to this message. Let me know in the comments if it resonates, and I will see you next time. Peace out. So for those of you guys who choose number 2, we've got the rose quartz crystal. And we're just going to look into some messages for you right now in your job, your finances, your career. Anything can happen. Anything can come up. I haven't seen these cards yet, so I'm excited. Let's see what the messages are for you today. Okay, the first message I got here was like, you have some kind of plan. You have some kind of plan of how to get where you want to go. You're thinking about being self-employed, or you are self-employed, or that's something you're doing right now part-time. And you've got some kind of plan for this. You know, it reminds me of this episode I watched of Gary Vee. Do any of you guys follow Gary Vee? I love Gary Vee. He's one of my favorite inspirational entrepreneurs. Well, he was talking to this guy who basically had a plan. His end goal was being an actor. He wanted to be an actor, you know, do that whole thing. So his plan was he was going to train and get into the military. He was going to do that, and then he was going to use the money from the military to go to acting school. And then he was going to try to like audition and get into acting. And Gary Vee was telling him, what does the military have to do with this? And the guy opened up and basically said, I want to please my family. I want to make them happy. My whole family's been doing this, and I just feel like it's going to help. And Gary Vee is like, you know, in these days, like just going to the city, just going to LA or wherever, New York, wherever you got to go, and networking and having 2 jobs and hustling and maybe taking a couple of little classes and stuff, or getting the information online or hiring a tutor is going to be faster and is going to be maybe even more legit than you doing that whole school. Like, that's going to take years out of your life to do the whole military thing, and then this and then that, and then going over there. So anyways, the reason I'm telling you guys this story is because I feel like this card says there's a better choice, not seeing things clearly. Maybe you have a plan like that. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go to this school, and I'm going to move here, and I'm going to get the master's, and then I'm going to get my PhD, and then I'm going to do this. And it's all for something that you could easily do by just going to the place and networking and meeting the people and taking the risks and hustling. That's kind of what I see here, okay? Now, for some people, you do need to go that path where you go to the school and you do this and you do that. Like, there's so many different ways out there to get the skills you need, to get the education you need in today's world of technology and information. So ask yourself if going to school really is the right path, or if getting all those degrees and those pieces of paper really are the right path for you. Is that just clout? Or is it really going to give you the information you need? Do you need to put yourself in debt for this? That's the question, I think, for a lot of you guys, okay? Now, if you're going to be a surgeon, please go to school. Please get all the degrees. I don't want someone operating on me that doesn't have credentials. But there's some things that you don't have to go to school for. You know, you've really got to think about that. I think if you're not considering school, then this could be another thing. Maybe you're thinking you're going to wait and put it off. I'm going to do this job, and maybe it'll give me some experience, and then maybe I can apply here and do this. I kind of just see this message here that's saying, don't let someone else hire you. Don't go out there and like pad your resume to like impress some random corporate person. Like, hire yourself. Impress yourself, get the skills you need, find a way to get them, use online courses, use YouTube, you know, use Mentor or taking like little group classes or workshops or whatever, and you can empower yourself to do this, especially if it's something really creative. So this is a message telling you it's time to have patience. Take time to rest and plan your next steps. Really think about your money situation. It's worth it to invest in yourself. It's worth it to get a degree in some situations. It's worth it to get your education. Just think about how you're going to do that and what's best for you. This says running away from the truth. I also see some people out there that are just climbing their way up some job, chasing the money, chasing the numbers when you're feeling trapped. And so this is telling you, like, nights and weekends, work towards your dreams. You will be happily and successfully self-employed. Maybe what you really want in your career is just alone time, being able to be at home, being able to walk the dog in the middle of the day, being able to just kind of live a slower life, but still have tons of abundance coming in based off of your gifts and your talents. So this is just telling you it's kind of time to rearrange your path and ask yourself, is this going to help, or should I just take a risk and go network? Like, there's kind of a message about that here. But then we see the shaman card. This is a message for just a few of you guys who are here. I think there's a couple people watching this message that are really thinking about doing something like Reiki or tarot, or doing something that's really going to give back to society. Like, I'm talking to the people right now that know that they're light workers and know that they are going to be doing healing work. Maybe some of you guys are struggling with that, realizing, okay, like, I went to school for this, or I have this job, but I know that there's a side of me that wants to do this shaman work or this healing work or this like giving back type of work. I just want you to know that if you're being called to this path right here, and not everyone is, you will be blessed 100%. This type of path takes a lot of risks. It can be really scary, but there will be so much synchronicity for you. So don't be afraid to take this path. You can start it part-time and then you can quit your job and go full-time with this, and it'll happen faster than you think. So if you want to sell healing products, or you're making something with your hands, or you're doing hand healing, or maybe you're reading tarot cards, or doing Kirlian photography or something, or energy work in any way, or therapy, counseling, healing of any sort, I just feel like this is telling you that you're very gifted in that, and a way will be opened for you. Don't be afraid to take this path. Like, in your future, you will be self-employed. You're going to be rewarded for your hard work, like you're on the healer's path. So that last part of the message might not resonate with everyone, but I think there's some people that needed to hear it. So wow, I hope that this resonated with you. I just wanted to shout out real quick, I do have my sale going until January 5th. If you want to support me and my channel, then purchasing a reading is a great way to do that. But you can also just simply like and subscribe, and that helps me out too. So thank you for coming today to watch this video, and I will see you next time. Peace out. Okay, so for those of you guys who choose number 3, we've got the red jasper crystal. Let's get a message for you about your work, your career, your finances. Anything can come out. You actually got the most cards out of everybody, so I'm really interested to see what is going on here. So let's check it out. Whoa! There's a lot going on here. Okay, so I feel like you're at this point in your life where you're getting ready to take some type of really big risk in your career. I feel like you're about to take some type of very artistic path, or doing something a little bit different than you had initially planned. Feels like you've been on this path where maybe you dropped out of school, or you changed your major a couple times, or you got a degree for one thing and ended up not using it, or you're just kind of working a job that's paying the bills, but you're at this point where the past couple years, and I think especially 2019, brought in this big creative vision for you. You have a very special dream, and you're getting ready to get started on it right now. You've already taken some steps, I feel. You're starting to feel a little bit more empowered, and you're like, yes, let's make this happen. Your confidence, your self-esteem and everything has been built up. And this card says it's time to take action, be fearless, and happily pursue your most treasured dreams. Amazing career opportunities. Some of you guys are even getting opportunities for this. But I do see kind of a catch here. These two cards are very similar, and it's making me think that like your family isn't on board for this change. Reminds me of a family that's like, everybody in the whole family's gone to medical school, and like now it's your turn, and you're like, I don't want to go to medical school. I want to draw. I want to be a graphic designer. Like, this isn't me at all. So you might be halfway into medical school theoretically, 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out, still trying to keep up appearances, still trying to please the family, but there's this side of you that you're like, this isn't me. I got to get away from this, and I got to go be who I am, and I got to go really get my career in order. And so it's kind of scary because you might have to move away from the family or from what's holding you back. You might have to kind of strike out on your own, and you're currently empowering yourself to do that. Like, you're saving up the money, or you're getting the confidence, the courage together to just be like, you know what? I love you, fam, but I got to do me, you know? If that doesn't resonate, I see another message here about some people who are living in a place that's not supportive to the kind of lifestyle they want to live or what kind of career you want to do. It reminds me of somebody who's like living in a small town, or like living in a place where it's not, there isn't really like an art scene, or there isn't really like an art crowd, and there isn't a lot of different types of opportunities. And so you're looking around at this place you're living, or at the society or the culture that you're in, and you're thinking, this place isn't supporting me to do what I want to do. I actually recently spoke with a woman who lived in the Middle East, and she really loves dancing, but the place that she lived wasn't very open to that. And so she had to move to another country in order to explore dance and to work on that. And it was very difficult for her because she went against some cultural norms, and it upset the family, and it's completely understand. It's something you can totally understand. I've traveled to those places. I've seen what those cultures are like. Beautiful things about every culture, but sometimes you just kind of hit a rift where your culture, your society, or your family, or your community, for some reason, is kind of opposing you and what you want to do, or you don't feel supported, feeling at odds with yourself or others, opposing goals arising from different opinions. So there's all these opinions coming at you, and it's making you kind of doubt your dream and doubt your career path and doubt taking this risk, you know? So it's been difficult to make a decision. Should I just kind of please these people, or kind of walk a path that's more that's gonna like not ruffle as many feathers, or should I like take this path and just go for it and risk disappointing people, or risk people talking about me, or kind of risk like it being weird or something? Like, so that's the question here for you. I can understand that, because when I made a choice to do tarot, I was like, wow, there's a lot of people in society who are very scientifically minded who are gonna think that this is bullshit or whatever. That's cool. Like, good, everyone's got their own opinions. I'm cool with that, you know? I was worried, oh, there's friends and people who might think that I'm weird or something, or that like this is strange, or people will judge me. But at the end of the day, you just got to do you, especially when it comes to your career, how you're going to spend your time, how you're going to express yourself, how you're going to receive your money. The way that you get your money and the way that you do your career, it's very unique to you. And I say this on the channel all the time. Money flows where your energy and passion goes. So whatever you are the most energetic about, whatever you're the most passionate about, money is going to flow there for you. So for me, money's flowing to me through tarot. Money's flowing to me through passion of art and makeup and paintings and clothing and styling and creativity. That's just how my money's coming. Because that's part of me. That's my passion. Your money's gonna come in a totally different way that's unique to you. And then someone over there, their money might come to them through a 9-to-5 job, or through this or through that. Like, if you do something to get the money, to do the career that's not your true passion, there's gonna be a blockage on how much abundance and how much money and much finances you can receive. You know, it's going to be stressful on your body, on your energy. I think what this message is trying to do right now, and what I'm trying to explain to you, is that it's time to make a choice. This card says, indecision is holding you back. Make the choice that's best for you rather than trying to please others. Feeling trapped between the intellectual and the emotional. And you see this person who's standing here, they have these wings that are coming out of them because it's like they're unique, they're gifted. And you see these instruments. It's a message of creativity, of harmony with yourself. And they're just standing there afraid to pick up these instruments, afraid to really go for it, afraid to let their freak flag fly because they're like, what are people gonna think? Maybe I should be sitting at an office and at a computer, but I just wanna be out there strumming my banjo, being the musician, being the artist. So yeah, this is kind of a message that you can see how sad this person looks because for some reason they feel like I can't. They're holding their hands. They're trying to hold themselves back from what they love because they're like, I can't. This is a message telling you, empower yourself. You're going to be so much happier. This life is about you, not other people's opinions, whoever these people are. So this is a final message to you saying, do the right thing for the right reason. You're comparing the traditional path versus like this new path, this new idea, this new dream that's opened up for you right now. And you're really coming into union with yourself to make this decision to follow this path. I say follow your dreams. So I hope that this reading resonates with you. Definitely let me know in the comments below because I feel like this message was really specific. I wonder if it does resonate with anyone who's watching. And yeah, keep in mind, I do have a sale going on right now till January 5th. I would love it if you could purchase a personal reading from me. I've got some space right now. I don't have too many orders lined up, which is why I'm shouting it out a lot right now and doing this sale. But another way that you can support me is simply by liking and subscribing. So I'll see you next time. Peace out. Okay, so for those of you guys who choose number 4, let's go ahead and get your message for your career, for your finances, for your work. We're just going to see what comes up for you here in the cards, okay? Okay, I see a new path. I see a new path. That's the first thing that's coming up. Like, it makes me think some of you guys who are here recently walked away from a work situation, like quit a job because you realize this isn't the best choice for my happiness. This is not worth the effort. It's like you were getting paid a decent amount when you signed up for the job, but these people just worked you like a slave. Like you ended up doing overtime but not getting paid or something, or there was a lot of events the job would put on and banquets and this and that, and there was all this extra work that like was kind of a gray area and you didn't really get paid for it or something. It seems like this job you were a part of almost feels like a cult or something where like it just sucked you in and you barely had time nights and weekends to like get your stuff together, wash your laundry and everything, get some groceries before the hell started all over again. And that word comes to mind, hell. It feels like this job was hell. So it's like you quit this job and now you're in a transition. You're looking for something new. You really just want to get your stability back. And I'm just seeing this message to you to trust yourself as you move forward on this path. Begin a new adventure. Maybe start looking into another line of work or look for a job that is just different than what you'd normally look for. Maybe you have a degree that's like for one thing, but there's another job that just requires a bachelor's degree and they don't even care what it's in, and it's like a different avenue. See if your skills can kind of be shifted to this other area of work. For instance, if you were working in sales, but now you want to move into like a leadership role somewhere at a different job, you can write your resume and write your skills to highlight how you worked independently, to highlight how you were making decisions kind of on the fly, to highlight how you are good with working with other people, and you know, you can basically kind of tweak the resume so that you can go into this new position. So I'm getting a message here about applying for jobs that just feel right in your soul. Not even looking at the money or the how much they're gonna pay or this. I know that's a factor, but just kind of start thinking more about what feels right to me, what feels more fun, what feels adventurous. Maybe it's time to try something new in your career and kind of segue into another type of job. I also see something here about some of you guys haven't quit the job yet, and you're wondering, should I transition to something else? Should I start looking for something new? It's hard because I like the stability the job's bringing, but there's a part of me that might want to move somewhere else. This might be talking about you looking for a job in another town or state, or maybe even another country. So this is a message for those of you guys who are thinking about moving or going further with a job or something like that, that could be good for you. Some of you guys do need to walk away from this job right now. A job's always going to be a job. There's always going to be toxic people at your work for the most part. Usually people who are very narcissistic or sociopath type people tend to gravitate to the top. So oftentimes your boss or your manager, you're going to have a riff with them. There's always going to be that one person who is kind of a bully or who is negative, and so that you're going to be dealing with energy a lot. But then there's some places you can work where it's just crazy. It's just every single person is picking on you, or you're not vibing with the people, or you're literally being harassed or bullied. And I've talked to people who've been in those situations in work before. I've been in a situation like that before too. So your heart and your soul knows when you need to get out of the job and look for something else. And it's hard because when you're being beaten down by a job like that, to come home and get the positive energy to fill out the resumes and do all that work is hard, because looking for a job is like a full-time job in and of itself. So you're gonna have to pull up your confidence and your inner strength here and just work as hard as you can. You know, this says trust yourself, begin a new adventure, pack up, turn your back, move on. And the dog here is a symbol of loyalty, like being loyal to yourself and to your heart, to know your worth and realize you have the right to transition or to move to another position or another job if that's what's being laid on your heart. You can manifest this, you can make it happen. This might not be worth the effort. So that's the message I'm getting for you. I hope that this resonates. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. I just wanted to shout out one more time that I do have a sale right now going on until January 5th. So check out my site, everything's there, and I will see you next time. Peace out.